Morning, guys. In today's video, I want to address a few questions or comments that I got in my Model 3 versus Bolt video. I am also on the way to pick up something that I've been waiting a couple of months for, and want to take you guys with me. So let's talk about some of the questions you guys had and the comments that you guys had in the Model 3 versus Bolt video. The first thing that I want to talk about is the wireless charging situation, and that was my fault. I completely forgot that the Bolt Premier does have wireless charging in it, and the reason I forgot about it was because the Bolt, when I got the Bolt, I had an iPhone 7S, and it's the one with the larger screen. And with the Bolt, my phone was too large to be able to fit it into the cubby of where the wireless charging is. And I'll put hopefully I can find a picture of it and I'll put it up on the screen. But in the center console of the Bolt, there's a little cubby that you basically put your phone down into. And I tried to mess with it, rearrange it, cut it out. Like I tried all kind of things to try to get my iPhone 7 Plus to fit in there, and I couldn't get it to fit in there. So I think that's the reason that I kind of forgot about it, because I never used it. I was never able to use it, and so I kind of forgot about it. I ended up getting a little cup holder mount that I put my phone on, and I would just plug it in and used Apple Play or whatever. So that's the first thing. That's my bad. I completely forgot that the Bolt does have wireless charging. You just have to have a smaller phone to be able to use it. The next thing is, I got quite a few comments about the heated seats, and it magically appeared, an OTA update made the heated seats appear. Obviously, guys, I know that the heated seats, I know that there was wiring already in the car for rear heated seats. That wasn't really my point. When we got the car in January of 2018, there were no rear heated seats, and in the UI on the screen, and I never knew there was any plan to be rear heated seats in the car, but in the UI on the screen, the only thing that you could select was the front two seats. And I never knew that I was going to get rear heated seats. And then all of a sudden I did an update, and there's actually a video on my channel back then when I got it. I put up a quick video. I didn't put a lot of stock into YouTube videos. I just kind of put it up so people could see it and what it was like. And because my car was such an early VIN, I was getting things really quick. Like the updates, I would get them really, really quick. I mean, like right after the beta testers got them. So anyways, I understand that the rear heated seats had the rear seats had wiring in it already. I understand that, but it was really cool to receive an over-the-air update that, turned those rear heated seats on. And that's just one thing that they've done through the over-the-air updates. I mean, have you seen fart mode? As far as the pricing, people kept talking is you can't compare a Model 3 price-wise to a Bolt. And yes, I don't think that I can compare my performance Model 3, the one I'm in right now. I don't think that I can compare my performance Model 3 to a baseline Chevy Bolt. And I would never want to compare those two. Even though design-wise, I think you can compare it by looking at it. One's a hatchback, one's not a hatchback. The way one looks, just style-wise. But I do think that you can compare a mid-range Model 3 that you can get now. I've seen people mention that, oh, I don't want to wait 6 months to get it. You can buy a mid-range Model 3 right now and not have to wait more than probably 2 to 4 weeks for it. And they may even have one on the floor if you if you choose a certain color or whatever. They may have one on the floor that you can buy right now. So there is no wait on these cars really anymore. So the mid-range Model 3 starts at $44,000, and I think I made this point in the video. The mid-range Model 3 starts at $44,000, and the Bolt, we could buy the Bolt for about $38,000. And yes, that's about a $5,000 difference. I mean, the Bolt sticker is $43,000, but they discount them because they know they can't sell them for that. So you can take $44,000 to $38,000. It was, I think it was actually about $4,500, but let's say there's a $5,000 difference. And yes, I know $5,000 is still a lot of money, but to me, what you get in the mid-range Model 3, you get more range, you get the glass roof, and you just get the tech that's in a Model 3. I think it's worth the $5,000 extra to get a mid-range Model 3, and I think the sales prove this, because the mid-range Model 3 and the Model 3 in general is just outselling, just crushing the Bolt. And I'm not saying the Bolt's a bad car. Don't get it twisted. The Bolt is a decent car for what it is, but I don't think it's going to be around long term. I think the Model 3 is going to crush the sales of the Bolt, and it already is. But I think that you can compare those two cars, a mid-range Model 3 and a premier Chevy Bolt. So that was just my point in that whole thing. I do think you can compare those price-wise, even though there is a $5,000 difference. Someone had mentioned about I didn't talk about the view of the Bolt, and I put up a view of the Model 3, but I didn't put up a view of the Bolt. I'll try to throw up some quick pictures here. I think the view out of both of them is really good. I really don't have anything bad to say about the view of the Bolt. I like the way you sit up in the Bolt. I like the view of it. I liked the way it looked as far as the view out of the front and the side windows. I just didn't like the seats. The seats were just not that comfortable. Another thing that I didn't mention in the other video is, and someone mentioned this and I completely forgot about it, but on the Bolt you can flip your rear view mirror and it turns into your rear view camera. So basically you flip the switch and it goes from just a regular rear view mirror to you can see the rear view camera out of it. Personally, I never used it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it looked. See, I don't even ride with my Model 3 rear view camera up. I just don't like the way it looks. It just, I don't know, it's just disorienting to me. I like the old school, just normal rear view mirror. So that's another reason I probably forgot that. But some people obviously like having that rear view camera on their rear view mirror when they look up in it. Personally, it's not a big deal to me. The other thing I didn't mention in the video was the hold mode on the Model 3, which I think is really, really cool. So in the Model 3, when you come up to a stop sign, and I'll try to show this on video, when you come up to a stop sign or stoplight, or if you have to stop, when you come up, when you hold your foot on the brake, there's a little H that comes up on the screen or near the speedometer, and it goes into what some call is a hill hold mode. I just call it hold mode, but some call it hill hold. And when it goes into that mode, you can basically let your foot, because you don't have both feet on your brake, hopefully, you can let your foot off the brake and it will just, the car won't move. As long as you don't have creep on. You got to make sure that you don't have creep on in the settings. And I have creep off. And so I like just taking my foot off, and it's, I can have my foot just kind of hovering over the accelerator, ready to go if I want to go. So, and it works if you're on an incline or a decline. It will hold you in that mode until you hit the accelerator to go. Someone had mentioned that I didn't say anything about build quality. Well, to me, my performance Model 3, the build quality on it is excellent. Yes, when I got the red Model 3, the one that was the super early VIN, it definitely had some, I wouldn't say that it was build quality issues, but it was a super early car. You got to remember that this car was under VIN 100. It was VIN 89. So they were still figuring out a lot of their manufacturing when it came to the Model 3. So to me, I expected it. I expected to have maybe some issues or whatever. Well, some people would call them issues. I don't think that they're issues. I just think it's part of having an early VIN car. To me, it's not that big of a deal. I think that it's part of, to me, what makes the character of the car, and having that early car and that early build was kind of cool to me. But as far as my performance Model 3 compared to the build quality of the Bolt, to me, they're exactly the same. The build quality of this car is great. I don't have any panel gaps or trim that's not aligned, any of that kind of stuff. I've had the car now for 2.5 months, and I haven't had one thing wrong with the car yet, hopefully. So I don't think it's an issue. Anyways, somebody wanted to talk about, or somebody was talking and asking about supercharging. As far as supercharging, the Model 3, the Model S, and the Model X can all use the supercharger network. That is a common, they all use the Tesla charging cable. They all use the same mode of charging. So that's not an issue. The Model 3, Model S, Model X uses all the same cord, all the same charger. So anyway, that's I don't know what else you need to know about that, but I think that's it. But if you guys have any other questions or comments, feel free to mention them down below. But otherwise, I guess you guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.